a 200 yen glizzy? Even I'm tempted, and I famously don't like glizzies. I mean, just to pause here, this is really cool to see. Again, my guesstimation would have been that the downside of a Costco is that it's almost too efficient and that it causes damage to surrounding local businesses because it just outcompetes them. But the idea that it draws in so much capital from wider areas that it actually enlivens the local market is pretty cool. That's cool. I mean, Costco's a great business. It's nice to see.
A Costco raises the floor on wages, but it makes up for it by bringing in more customers to an area. Now, especially in lower income areas, a new Costco also lets local businesses do something else that's just as important as it is unintuitive. It lets them raise prices. Now, I promise I'll explain how that can be a good thing, but to do that, we also need to address a bigger question. A company can't run off good vibes and helping out the little guy because it's a nice thing to do. So, what's in all of this for Costco and their shareholders? It's not just Costco that gets your data when you sign up for a membership.
Incogni? Incogni is what they get out of it?
It's easy to anthropomorphize businesses and conclude that one has a nicer intention than the other. But the reality is that all public companies are beholden to their shareholders, who want to see maximized returns. The difference only comes from how they achieve that goal. Costco has cultivated a very good reputation with its employees and customers thanks to the way it's approached the market. In what limited public relations they do, the company is always quick to highlight their simple four-point code of ethics. Obey the law, take care of our members, take care of our employees, and respect our suppliers.
Let's try it.
Simple.
It sounds reasonable enough, but here's the thing. Almost every large public-facing company in the world has something similar. Here's Walmart's, here's Tesco's, here's Lockheed Martin's, and here is, or was, Enron's. These are basically always just standard issue corporate wank to give new hires something to read on their first day in the office. But Costco might actually be slightly different because of one line that most people would probably ignore. If we obey the law, take care of members, employees, and suppliers, then we will achieve our ultimate goal, which is to reward our shareholders. Credit where credit's due, they are being honest that the only reason they are not openly breaking the law is because it's just bad for business. By that same logic, they aren't building up local economies and wasting billions of dollars on higher staff salaries every year for the warm fuzzies. They're doing it because it's good business. They are doing it to achieve their ultimate goal of rewarding their shareholders.
I wonder if it has to do with the way they compensate executives or something. It really just comes down to like they're so much better at building for the long term instead of maximizing for the short-term quarterly bonus. It's just, and I wonder why their executives haven't succumbed to temptations that others have to enshitify for a short-term gain knowing that they'll be gone.
Higher wages are a calculated choice which works in their business for 3 reasons. The first is that it does give them a bit of good PR. The brand perception of Costco is very valuable, and it helps to keep their members renewing every year.
Nice, yeah.
When it comes time to pay that annual fee again, a lot of people won't mind if they think they're supporting a business that supports their people. Doing whatever they can to maintain memberships is critically important because the rest of the business effectively breaks even after accounting for their self-inflicted low margins and higher than average expenses. But beyond that, competitive wages are a calculated decision to cut down on staff turnover, and all you need to see this is to look at it both ways. On one hand, they pay their staff well above industry standard rates for a job that doesn't require a college degree. But on the other hand, their staff won't be able to find another job that pays as well unless they get a college degree. This means Costco is effectively buying staff loyalty, which for them has been a very good purchase. Hiring and training new staff to work across their stores takes a lot of time and it's not cheap. The industry standard churn rate for retail employees in big box stores is 60%, which means if 100 people start at the beginning of the year, only 40 of them will be left.
Dude, I think the churn rate for Amazon warehouses was like, I think it's like 89, 92% or something.
Let's try this.
I think it's like literally almost every single person who tries it, it was over 150, 120. Let me see. I remember it was being absurdly high, but I don't remember what it was. I'm sorry. It's 150% annually. What? I don't even fully understand that. That's crazy. That's crazy. They burn through 2.25 million employees a year. How is it higher than 100%? Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Is that people quitting, rejoining, then quitting again? Or is that all your staff quits, half the replacements quit? I guess seasonal hires. That's crazy.
At Costco, by comparison, that churn rate is only 5.5%, saving them more on training and hiring expenses than they lose through those higher wages. But then, if just paying a good wage actually saves the business money, why don't the other big retailers do the same? Well, a report by the Harvard Business Review actually looked into that exact question, and they found that it only really worked for certain business models. Walmart, by comparison, runs on a churn and burn model that goes all the way up to the store level. Costco rarely, if ever, shuts down a store once it's established, and in the rare instances where they do, it's usually only because they've moved to a bigger location in the same area that'll be operated by the same staff members. Walmart, by comparison, closes down stores all the time, and the roles that the team members play are more compartmentalized and easier to replace. There's also a greater promise of career progression. Walmart has more than 7 times as many stores, which means 7 times as many management positions up for grabs.
What happened?
Those management roles pay extremely well, and for some people it makes slugging it out in a minimum wage job worth it to justify the opportunity to climb up the ladder. Costco, by comparison, doesn't pay its management staff as competitively, and there are just naturally fewer positions on offer anyway because they run fewer locations.
Right.
This means Costco needs to keep its staff satisfied with the job they have rather than one they could potentially get. Now, whatever the business reasoning, the effect on the local economy is still the same. A lot of people earning a good wage has a lot more of an impact than 2 or 3 people earning an astronomical wage.
That can't be right.
But again, for Costco,
that can't be right, or we would have structured our economy differently. What you're saying wouldn't make any sense. Otherwise, why would Elon Musk have $1 trillion pay package? You know what I'm saying?
This is all part of the plan. Costco is not in competition with local business. In fact, it relies on them. A large portion of their overall revenue is driven by those same businesses stocking up on their own supplies. Costco blurs the line between a wholesale outlet and a retail store, which is ideal for small hospitality businesses in particular who may not have the scale to order in bulk directly from suppliers. This symbiotic relationship is further supported by another big misconception about the business. Costco is famous for having an extensive variety of products on offer,
oh my God,
from gold bars and fine
gold bars, glizzies, and what was the other thing? And Enron. Every 5 minutes, I'm getting a fucking dopamine rush.
It seems like you really can buy anything from these stores. However, Costco actually offers far fewer individual items than other big box retailers. Walmart manages over 100,000 different stock keeping units. Amazon manages 600 million, while Costco only maintains around 4,000. One of the reasons for this is that while something like a jar of Nutella might be offered in several different sizes at a regular grocery store, at Costco you're getting it in a one-size-fits-all bucket or you're not getting it at all. This leaves an opportunity for local businesses to fill in niche markets, often by breaking up and selling the same items they purchased from Costco warehouses. A 2019 study published by the University of Massachusetts and the National Bureau of Economic Analysis found that after a Costco opened in a local area, prices at local businesses rose, but the reason why this was happening was because the Costco allowed them to move into higher margin products. People coming into the area on a shopping trip, in addition to the staff earning good wages, stimulated local demand, and more importantly, there wasn't the same need to supply budget items to cost-conscious consumers. If people needed groceries, they would go to Costco, but if they wanted something more unique, they would still need to patron local businesses. In plain English, prices rise, but buyer power is maintained because people have more money and a cost-effective supply of the essentials.
So based on the logic of this video, we should open up a Costco every 3 square miles across the entire United States, and we'll fix our economy. Every Costco, you should be able to see another Costco in every direction you look. And then Taylor Swift performs in each Costco as she travels, and we get infinite GDP. And it's a new 3rd place. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. And when you're traveling between the Costcos, we'll have little Steam Decks set up that you can play Gabe Newell's latest releases on. We've solved it. We've solved it. We've solved it. We've solved it.
Costco is gentrifying an area in the best way possible. Back in Hawaii, this effect is particularly strong. Due to the logistical challenges of getting consumer staples shipped into the middle of the Pacific Ocean, a bulk supplier like Costco has become a linchpin for both consumers and small businesses. Prices are still much higher here than they are on the mainland, but they are significantly better than dozens of individual businesses trying to organize their own shipping. In its own weird way, the world's busiest Costco has also become a tourist destination in its own right. Most big box retailers can't get people to travel more than 15 minutes to do their shopping without it being too inconvenient. Costco can get people to travel across half an ocean. It's all the result of a business plan made to maximize shareholder value just like any other, but has been undeniably effective. However, for all its successes, it's still not as large or dominant as Walmart, a company that has been the counterpoint to everything that made Costco successful. Watch this video next to find out how they did everything differently and still became one of the most powerful private economic entities in the world.
Walmart. Even better. Evil twins. Costco in South Korea is incredible. Dude, Costco in any other country, they get these insane lines. People love it. People love it. And it's cool. They pay employees well. As long as they keep the glizzies cheap. Proud HEB sport from Texas. I've never been to an HEB. What's special about HEB? Texas's favorite grocery store. A privately owned grocery store. I'll tell you one store that I always dogged on that I actually tried was, it's like the camera store in New York or on the East Coast. B&H. Yeah, B&H, dude. It was incredible. It had everything you could possibly want, and all the employees were really nice. I was very impressed. It made Best Buy look like a fucking sack of shit, straight up. The only problem with B&H is they shut down like fucking noon on Friday. They were available.
Let's say 1, 2, and...
Over the last week or so, I've been hearing a lot about a company called DK Oldies. They also have an extremely successful YouTube channel with nearly 1 million subs. And the business is based around selling retro gaming. So they sell old consoles, old games, just anything and everything related to old school gaming. Because everyone likes to relive their childhood to some extent, whether it's playing old games you experienced as a kid, or having that old console that you grew up with.
I'm currently playing Resident Evil 2, PS1 emulator. I never finished the game, that's why I'm playing it. But I realize I'm kinda too old, and I'm struggling to play it, you know. I'm catching up with the feeling of playing a Nintendo game. Remember? As in, it's too difficult. Like. Very, very punishing.
Classics on. Nostalgia is a very powerful, fun, and beautiful thing. Well, actually, not really beautiful. Hold the beautiful on that burger, because usually when I get nostalgic, I just end up feeling sad, recognizing that I'm getting old now and everything's changing. I can't move around as quickly as I once could. If I'm going downstairs and I miss a step, I end up hurting myself and pulling something. Time is progressing faster. Everything's going to turn to dust eventually.
True.
We're getting off track. Point is, they sell retro gaming equipment. And over the last week or so, they've been getting dunked on like it's fucking All-Star Weekend in the NBA. Everyone's been calling them a scam, whether that's YouTubers talking about their business and reviewing their products, or very upset customers that are dissatisfied with their purchases. A lot of people have come forward accusing them of being fraudulent or scammers. Now, I didn't know a whole lot about this situation until recently. I was under the impression that the big controversy was around their prices, because DK Oldies prices are significantly higher than pretty much anyone else in the market. They have, on average, the highest price compared to the competition, but I don't think a high price necessarily makes them a scam by default. But after learning more about the situation, they make claims saying that they refurbish their consoles that they're selling. And there's a lot of evidence to suggest they don't. At least they don't refurbish all of them. So a lot of YouTubers have reviewed some of these consoles that DK Oldies sells, and they're covered in dirt, grease, and all kinds of shit, like very yucky stuff where it's clearly not refurbished. One of them even had just actual damage on it to one of the ports. They are still functional, but they aren't refurbished, because refurbishing refers to like cleaning, repairing, like all of that is part of being refurbished, where most of them just aren't. At least not the ones that have been documented, and not the ones people are talking about having purchased from DK Oldies. So I just wanted to go over this and take a look for myself if it really is a scam. I investigated it a bit on stream, so you can watch me learn about it in real time and form your own opinion on the DK Oldies business. I think the word scam is overused. DK Oldies clearly communicates the goods and services they provide and how much that costs. Yes, it's more expensive, but it has a market for people that want to get restored or authentic products and not deal with the sketchiness of eBay and Craigslist buys. Retro market is flooded with knockoffs, and certain people are just willing to pay more to not deal with that. Yeah, like I said, I don't know shit about the DK Oldies situation. I really don't. This DK Oldies Wii isn't refurbished.
Buy a console.
Is this a... So one of the main critiques I've seen about them is their prices are absurd in comparison to the others. Is this a bad price for this? I don't know. I don't know this secondary retro market or anything. So is this like super expensive? Nintendo Wii video game consoles for sale on eBay. Let's sort by... So there's some here for 40... So it looks like between 40 and 50, 40 and 60. Here's another one for 60. So this seems a little higher than like the lowest on eBay. Because it seems like it's somewhere in this general ballpark, but this is definitely on like the upper end of it. Though I am curious why it says like 120 and then crossed out and you save $60. Is it normally 120? No one is buying the cosmetically flawed one. There's an option for the good condition that's 120. Okay, so if you went to good condition here, it would go to 120. I will say though, if it normally is 120, because if it is normally 120, that is very high in comparison to what I'm seeing on the eBay listings here. Because the ones on eBay are not the cosmetically flawed. These are just like the normal, good condition Wii's. Some of them are even bundled and they're like 50, 55 bucks. This one's 59 and it's the full Wii bundle.
To be fair, so Wii system sold with 4 gamepads, 10 games and stuff like that for £40 here in UK.
So that would be quite high.
And I didn't say a word.
Oh, I completely agree. eBay, it's always a coin toss if you're actually just getting fucking scammed. 100%. But I was just looking at all the
eBay,
different
no.
prices there.
eBay,
Just
no,
to get
no,
like a
honestly,
general
no.
range of what they normally go up for.
At least not in
I have
UK
to
or
imagine
Italy.
if you did buy one of those, it'd come with like fucking piss stains on it or something gross.
Also, I'm not sure if you can see, but there is a lot of gunk in the fan. We might just have to open this up. All right, I say we go ahead and boot it up and
That's
see
just
if
part
it
of the
works.
cosmetic
Well, it boots
flaw.
up. Pictures and videos I will show on the screen. First, the biggest problem was the fan. There
Jesus
was
Christ.
so much
Oh, wow, that's
disgusting gunk
pretty
on
yucky.
there. It could have, should have, and says it was clean. It wasn't. I went ahead and cleaned it. Now the weird
Yeah,
thing
you
is,
can't
I
clean
saw
like that.
gunk before I even opened the Wii. So did they not see it? I don't know. And then after that, the case had a lot of dust and some dirt in it. I then cleaned that out, and the Wii wasn't actually very dirty inside.
That's
but
good.
you can tell it was not cleaned or even opened, which is totally fine. But if you're not going to open it, just don't say that you are and that you're cleaning them if you're not going to do that. People on eBay don't always clean out the consoles. People in other shops don't always clean them out. But the difference is they don't say that they're going to do that. Now, once again, when I opened the Wii,
Okay, so it seems like it's just not
but
really
once again-
refurbished, but it's in a working condition.
Mm-hmm.
So then it seems like the big issue is they're saying they did something that they're not. At least not in this case. Maybe this was like some kind of special exception where they just made a big blunder, but yeah, it seems like this is pretty common. I imagine it's going to be much of the same story,
I
right?
bought a refurbished backwards compatible PS3 from DK Oldies for $400, and in this video, we're going to take an in-depth look at this
Is that price seems kind of high for a PS3. I've definitely seen those for cheaper. I recently bought a where is it? I don't remember where I put it. I recently bought like a 360 because Jackson and I were doing
Yeah,
that achievement
360 is much
competition.
cheaper.
It was far from being in the hundreds of dollar range. I think it was like $100 in total, and that shit works perfectly. And it came with all the cords, cables, and everything. Let's see what these normally go for. Again, this is eBay, so you could be getting scammed getting these, but The range is from like $95 on the low end. Let me sort. Let me do like a sorting to make this easier. Literally the highest one is 280.
Reverse compatible.
That's actually the
Very much.
exact one that I still pulled up here, which is the most expensive one in the refurbished PS3 market on eBay, and it's listed at 280. The second highest one for reference is the exact same thing for 205. So the 280 one's even still an outlier.
Another third-party controller. I mean,
Huge.
$400 for a backwards compatible PS3, cosmetically flawed, and you give me a third-party controller.
That's a cool... Wait, what is that? That's a cool controller. That looks like some shit straight out of the 90s. Wow, look at that puppy. Please do not tell me that if you do good condition, it's 600. Alright, I'm starting to see a lot of the outrage around the prices. That is... I understand charging more for the security of it. Like, hey, you're absolutely going to get what we're telling you're going to get, even though it's looking a little skeptical even in that department. But that security's not worth $400 extra on the market norm. You can buy a new PS5 for like 500. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe you can.
Something like that. But like the pictures show a DualShock 3. There's no option to choose between a DualShock 3 and a third-party controller.
Yeah, this does
They
not
just
look
say
good.
compatible, kind of make you think you're gonna get a good controller, and then they send you, you know, that the DualShock 3 that I got. I have a warranty sticker from TK Oldies in place of the old warranty seal. I don't know that they can actually enforce that these days. But oh, and there's our cosmetic flaw. Nice.
Hey, now it's fixed. It's good condition now.
Here on the back, as you can see, well,
The
I can't see
plastic's
it too dirty
impossible to
yet, but
clean.
It's very
Well, I don't think anyone's expecting them to magically erase fucking whatever this is, cat scratch marks all over it. But what do you open up there and showing all the dust when this is supposed to be a refurbished and cleaned model or whatever? Like, that's... You can absolutely clean fucking dust, right? Like, that's pretty easy. I can clean dust. And I'm a goddamn idiot.
see what it looks like. Alright guys, time for the big reveal. I got all the screws off, all the way off, and see what it looks like inside. Oh man.
Wow, factory new.
Oh, no way.
That's fresh.
Dude. I have no words. It actually looks better on camera than in person. Like in person, every single inch of this is covered in dirt, and this is... And
Nice.
that's what this
Okay,
is bad.
so I think I've seen enough here.
Nice.
I think I now have a better understanding of exactly what's going on. So not only are their prices outrageous, they are clearly not refurbishing them. It seems like their process is just confirming if it works and nothing else, and then just calling it refurbished. So they upgrade to the latest system software, or they'll do like a full factory reset of it, and then just make sure that the games can work on it, it doesn't crash, and that's it. And then they do a huge absurd markup without ever actually cleaning them. So my 360, I got this 2 years ago, $90. So Smash is starting. All right, I'll swap. Hold on, though. I want to see what this goes for on DK Oldies. Ooh, the exact one. The exact one at 240. Ooh. Oh, actually, never mind. Marked down to 195. It's the exact one. Oh no. Hold on. That's the bigger one. So that was the 250. I see. The 4 gigabyte one is
So
150.
this one.
That's it. That's no good. That's no good. That's big stinky. Uh-oh. Yeah, here. That's the exact one, and I got it for 90 at my local shop. And as for if it's refurbished or not, they actually, so at the shop, they don't even claim it's refurbished. But just looking over it right now, I don't even see any dust, and I've had this for 2 years now, so even if there was dust, I'd be like, yeah, it sounds about right. But like, it's pretty spotless, like, looking through the vents and shit. Looks nice. It's not even cosmetically flawed. There's no scratches on it or anything. $90. So I saved myself $70 instead of going to DK Oldies for it. Well, I still would like to see their side.
Every day, tons of new collections get sold to us here at DK Oldies. Let's take a look at this one, for example, and let's check out everything that has to happen to this Wii before we can list it for sale and it finds a new home.
And then it's shipped to customers like that.
And while it's open, he'll blow out any dust or debris that may be inside.
Yeah, so this is not exactly
What's
I
happening?
I see what they're going to do. They're just going to walk through the process and say it's done like this for all of them, even though there's clear evidence that that's not the case for every single one of them. I see. Like I said, it seems like they prioritize like the fact